This your boy Big Bawss Mayne. You are now watching the Real-Izm Mag TV.
Now the TV go down, TV go down, going out the TV go down, TV go down, going out the TV go down, going out the TV go down, going out the TV go down. Bail me out my rocker, excellent paragon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 100 Talk. Bawss Mayne, straight out of that East Side Cedar Grove. What's going on with it, man?
Man, it's the same old same, man. You know, I've been back and forth since '96. Right now we pushing in East Atlanta pretty heavy.
Okay.
My record is nearly finished. We're about to start pushing the single next month. Make Me Fall in Love. It's a blues song. I ain't doing no rapping on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
Okay.
We're gonna start pushing it right now. We got a couple of relationships with some clubs, so you know, word to any of the artists out there, if you coming to Atlanta, you need to holler at me. You know, like, I've reached out a few times. Couple cats that snubbed me, you know, act like they didn't want to get down and do business. Man, we about business. If you want to come out here and you want to do a show where you can get a piece of the dough, you need to holler at me. 678-702-9155. The phone is always on. But I think, you know, one of the biggest reasons I wanted to reach out to you is because you always reach for the real, you know, and you ask the question sometimes, it might make a few people, you know, uncomfortable.
True.
You know? But honesty is the only way to start progress, you know. If we're honest about who we are and what we're doing and what it is we want to do, maybe we can get the resources that we need.
Got you.
Back in the 90s, when we were in high school, me and a lot of my partners that went to Shreveport, we had Tru Menace records.
Right.
And we had, you know, a street hit in the city. We made a good amount of money. We were able to build us a studio and do a few things with it.
The classic She Said She Didn't, But She Did.
Yeah, She Said She Didn't, But She Did, you know, was a song that a lot of people took on to and a lot of people still know. But in order to make a real musical movement, you need proper leadership.
Okay.
And you need footwork. And, you know, we were young and just out there trying to do our thing. We were just happy to have money in our pockets and a little bit of fame. Now
let's stay there for a minute with She Said She Didn't, But She Did.
Okay.
Now, how did that record come to be? How did it come about?
Man, we were in the studio like every night. You know, there was no such thing as homework or any of that. We jumped out, we jumped in the car, we rolled into the studio every day. We had a studio down in Mount Pleasant. Shout out Swar J, T Money, all the boys down there in Mount Pleasant. But actually, L Mel had just started making a beat. And he brought it down to the studio from he had a spot in Queensboro over there on Judson Street. Okay. And the hook hit me in the face instantly. Like, as soon as I heard the beat, you know, and by the time I could get the hook completely written and laid, everyone else had their verses written. And as soon as we got that going, we said, okay, well, we need some money now. We need some better equipment. And we just need some cash.
Right.
So what we did was, we took our 4 best songs out of the stuff that we had recorded on the equipment we had. And we went to Mic 1 Pro over there on Linwood.
Right. The classic Mic 1 Pro.
Yeah. We went to Mic 1 Pro. And we went ahead and we dropped the 4 best songs we had. And we made some $5 CDs. We were just burning them ourselves. And we were hitting the schools. And we had partners at every high school pretty much in the city. We just flooded the city through the high schools, you know. And I think that's another thing that we need to look at now as far as the power of a promotional movement is, man, these youngsters, they into music. You know, a lot of older people, man, they still listen to the same things. But these youngsters, they are into music. Make you some stuff that's positive or some stuff that you can get some radio play and even your stuff that might not be that positive. Because I know what I was listening to when I was young. But I was listening. I was buying CDs. I was keeping up with the movement, you know. I didn't have a 9 to 5. All I had to do was go to school and, you know, get out and do my thing. So I was really into that. There was power in the youth. And this is also a method that we can use to teach the youth. You know, what we see, we emulate when we're young. You know, what you see the big homies do, that's what you want to do. And that's just what it is. But if the big homie telling you, hey, man, stay in school, bruh, that's the way to get you some real secure money. If the big homie tell you, you need to check on your credit and make sure your credit straight, you know what I'm saying? Like, these were the things that we didn't get taught. I learned a lot from my city and my hood, but I didn't learn how to balance my portfolio. I didn't learn about buying property. I didn't learn about having good credit. You know, these are the things I had to bump my head and start to learn as growing into a big man.
Right.
But imagine what could happen if we could take these kids and show them out the gate, you know.
Got you.
something amazing could happen in this place.
So y'all was just youth when you had released it. She said she did, but she did.
Yep, we were 16.
Okay.
Yeah, we were 16 when we dropped that, man. What was it, 99?
Okay. Now, was that song inspired by real life events?
Oh yeah. Man, you know we was running the roads, man. You know we was out here, man, getting it, man. So we had a few of them. I won't shout them out. It was a few ladies that made us happy. You know what I'm saying? And then want to turn around and go play goody.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it was definitely inspired by true events.
Okay.
I was a player back in my time. I was a settled man now.
I got you, man. Respect. With the song, she said she didn't, but she did.
Yeah.
How big did it get when you guys did all the promotional footwork and whatnot?
We ended up making enough to where we had a trailer that was just ours.
Okay.
And we had the same sort of equipment that like Mike 1 Pro and those guys were running. Everybody had a car.
Yeah.
Nobody had to work a job really when we were in high school.
Okay.
We didn't really get sound scan numbers or anything because we didn't do the paperwork. Man.
Wow.
We was just on some straight hood.
Right. Get in the streets.
Just in the streets, man. It was burnt CDs. I'm sure there's a few floating around. Burnt CDs.
Right.
It's got my handwriting on the top. We wrote down what was on the CD on the top, man, and put them out there in the streets.
Yeah, because it was first brought to my attention by my boy, can you say Jerome? He's West Side Cedar Grove.
Oh, yeah.
So he was letting it be known, but he rep all the Cedar Grove
definitely.
So he was letting it be known. He's like, yeah, man, those dudes they made major noise,
man,
just on their own.
Man, love to that West Side, man. We was East and West, man. We had Big D Tay Scott from down there in Greenwood.
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's who he told me about. Was on the track. Okay.
Yeah, man. D Tay, man, that's the homie. That's like my brother. If he had 10, I had 5. So, we made a pretty good amount of noise with that, and it kind of ended up bringing another situation in to where some friends of ours that were also artists ended up getting a deal with an independent label that was based out of Dallas.
Okay.
South Made Records.
Already.
Throwed Off, Game Rearranged was the name of the album.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, myself, L Mel from Beat to Death,
Okay.
and my little brother, King Dose, we produced the whole album for the label. We're actually in litigation about it right now.
Wow.
Yeah, the owner of the label actually took off on us. Yeah, he moved to South America. It sounds funny, man. It's real, man. Like, get your paperwork game straight.
Absolutely.
Especially if you out here and you young, man, and you trying to push as an artist, and you really think you want to be an artist. Study the business side of your craft. The music itself is gonna come from within you. That's art.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the business of art. And that's a totally different creature whatsoever. You can't just get in the studio, make a fire song, put it up on, SoundCloud or whatever, and feel like, things about to go viral, we're going to get a deal, all that. It does not work that way. Probably will never work that way. You have to cover yourself.
Let me ask you this. When you guys had dropped that, street classic, as of today, do you feel you were ahead of your time? Do you think things would have been different had the internet been as big as it was back in '99?
I really do think so, because we were actually internet guys.
Okay.
But, I mean, the internet movement hadn't really spread in
Right.
our community as deeply as it should have.
Right.
I mean, L Mel, shout out Beat to Death again. L Mel, he was the first cat I even ever knew to have a computer.
Okay.
He had a computer in '97.
Okay.
Didn't have a computer in my house. I was going to the library and see.
Straight up, same here.
Yeah, man, but like the internet has definitely made the whole world reachable. You have the whole world at your fingertips every day. And that's also why I feel like there's no excuse for us as artists not to use this, and no excuse, for us as people not to gather up information on whatever it is we want to do. All you gotta do is look. I don't even let my kids ask me anything now. I tell them, don't believe me. I want you to Google it, then Google it again. I want you to cross-reference it and check everything. But as far as the music goes, you see guys come straight out of their mom's kitchen or something with a computer that's got a hot song, and they just have a good network, it goes viral.
Right.
For as many CDs as we had pushed around in the Shreveport, Bossier area, we could have tackled the state, then we could have tackled at least the eastern half of Texas. I was back and forth to Atlanta in those times. I was in schools back in Cobb County. You know, I was living right off of Bankhead for a good while. I was staying in Ben Hill off Campbell Road for a minute too. We would have been able to work those areas a lot better. We would have had access to a lot more people. So, yeah, I definitely think we would have had a much better push forward.
Let me ask you this: how different was the Shreveport music scene then and versus now?
I think technology, just like, you know, what we were talking about before with the internet,
right?
Man, technology has also done so much as far as making producing material so much easier.
Right.
So we're seeing people that probably, you know, back in my time would have had talent but were never exposed to a studio or having equipment. That stuff costs thousands of dollars. You know, I can remember my first drum machine was $2,500. You know, my first keyboard was $2,200. Now you can go get, you can take $2,000 and you can put a setup that will rival somebody's large setup if you know what you're doing.
True.
So that's made a huge difference in people that didn't have a voice before, you know, being able to put something together. Back when we were out, you know, I mean, the only cats we were really seeing just really making noise, you know, was like NHC. They were doing that thing really heavy.
Shout out to the NHC.
Hey, shout out NHC.
Navajo KP.
Jaco James. You
right.
know, them boys out my hood. You know, I gotta show love to the James gang.
Respect.
Man, it was really just not really a minute. You know, the ratchet movement was kicking off around the same time. You know, all of us went to school together. You know, as far as, you know, the younger cats that were pushing in Lava House. You know what I'm saying? Untamed, shout out Untamed. You know, shout out Victoria, Jiggy Giles. You know, just everybody over there. All
right.
Lava House, everybody that's still down, everybody that's doing their own thing. My whole hood, you know. They had a really good push going on. But there weren't as many movements, I think, back then, just because of how tough it was. You know, if you didn't have bands to spin back then, you couldn't really make music.
Okay.
Back in those times, if you weren't beating your feet, and if you weren't, you know, if you didn't have relationships with the distributors, you weren't gonna go.
Right. Like, and distributors like Selecto Hits was a big one.
Man, you took the breath out of my chest.
Right.
Selecto Hits was the one in the South.
Right.
If you didn't know anybody that could get you in with them, and you were pretty much forced to be trying to make your physical materials yourself and get out here and make relationships with everyone city to city, you know. But nowadays, you got access to the DJ online.
Right.
You got access to the customer online.
So, like you said, there really is no excuse.
No.
That's to why I can't get out somewhere.
You know, I get a question a lot of the times because you know, I'm getting on up there, man. I'm 32, you know, and a lot of guys are like, man, you've been doing it for a long time, man. Why haven't you seen more money than this off of music? And I said, because I didn't push, you know, because I let, you know, things I was doing that weren't the most positive things interfere. And, you know, you turn around and things like losing people, you know, to the streets.
Right.
And losing people to the jailhouse, you know, you let that discourage you. But there is no excuse, you know, for anyone. The next man's success is not an excuse for what you're not doing. You know, the next man's work ethic, I've been seeing a lot of stuff going on lately as far as my city and even in the A, you know, with some cats I know out there that, you know, people are approaching things like they can't eat if someone else does. Find your niche. If you're a true hustler, you can split a rock and make water. You feel me? Like, you'll find a way to make some money, man. I can slip, file, and pick up $100. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know how to get paid, man, get paid. And don't look to this thing to be your only bread and butter if you're not ready to put your all into it. You know, this ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't gonna be, you know, everybody ain't gonna make it in music. But be a hustler in general.
Straight up.
You know, because we got a lot of people depending on us as artists out here, as people in general, man. We got these kids are looking to us, man, to try to change some things for them. And if you're an artist out here, man, and you pushing your music, man, and you want to be an example to another artist, man, what you look like whining about what the next man does and what you're not doing, man. You know, there's no reason to boo-hoo.
When did Atlanta come into the picture when you guys had released, you know, She Say She Didn't? Was that before or after?
That was, I had been back and forth to Atlanta.
Okay, what brought you to the city?
What took me out there? My mother had actually been going back and forth to Atlanta for years. She lived out there for a while before I did. I stayed with my grandma down here.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of looking for a change of pace, you know, when I was younger. Like, okay, well, I want to go check this out with mom and go see what's going on, because it was a city on the rise. You know?
No doubt.
The Olympics came, and, you know, I just saw that things were popping there, you know, so, you know, as a
And of course,
kid,
Freaknik.
Yeah, Freaknik. Yeah. I was at the last Freaknik. I was at Pipsqueak at the last Freaknik, man. Y'all don't think bad of my people, man. Just keep it real. But I mean, you know, I just like the vibe.
Right.
Atlanta is a city where if you black and you got your head screwed on straight, you can get some money.
Most definitely.
You can own property. You know, redlining is not as bad. You know, you can move into any neighborhood without having too much of a problem, or you can get a house for a decent price. You know, you can get a decent wage for a job, and that's what I dream of for where I'm from.
I always been dancing when I was a little boy. I've been musically inclined. Like, music is my life. I feel like now niggas turn their lips up when they see me. You know, D want to do this, so I want to do that. I've been had these aspirations. But ain't nothing that you can tell me to make me stop.
Every local rapper in Shreveport got the same fan base. The same people listening to us, bro. You diss another local rapper gonna hear. You know what I'm saying? It's just local shit, bro. It ain't getting outside of Shreveport, Bossier. So why are you wasting your time